Just going to start out here with this. This is information you all probably know. You hear it on the news all the time that we mostly die from heart disease and that we have all these other causes of death. And this is a very medical way of presenting this information because that's the way that we categorize the information, the way we think about it. We diagnose these patients with these illnesses and we base our treatment on that diagnosis. However, that's not really what kills us. What really kills us are mostly preventable causes, and it has to do with tobacco, obviously, is a big one. But the second largest contributor to mortality in the United States, or preventable mortality, is poor diet and physical activity. And as Michael indicated, this manifests itself within our population with us getting obesity and overweight. And I'm just going to show you a series of maps of the United States which illustrate how rapidly this problem has grown within the United States. So if you look at this, it's from 1990. These are phone surveys done by the states of the residents, sort of a random sample of their residents. And you'll see that back in 1990, 20 years ago, the majority of the states, about 10 to 14% of their population were regarded to be obese based on their BMI, which is a measure of weight and height. You go 5 years later, and the first thing I want you to notice is that none of the states were less than 10% in this graph. About half of them now are 15 to 19% of their adult population are obese. Jump forward another 5 years, and what you'll notice is that only one state, Colorado, that's before I moved there, was 10 to 14% of their population. That was the only state where 10 to 14%. Now, recall the 1990, this is 10 years ago, 1990, all of the states were 10 to 14% or less of their population was overweight. And now you even have about half the states where greater than 20% of their population is obese. 2005, we're losing colors and we're changing to new colors. So you can see that again, there are only 4 states where it's 15 to 19% of their population is obese. The rest is higher. We even have 3 states where it's greater than 30% of their population. Greater than a third of the adult population is obese. So this is those were all phone surveys. This is data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey where they actually go out and weigh people. And here's a little known medical fact. It turns out that people, when they're talking on the phone, they're taller and they weigh less. Because if you look at here, the darker blue bars are those that are obese, and these are random representative. It improves their cardiorespiratory and muscular fitness, really enhances their bone health. This is very true for young girls especially. It improves their disease risk and obviously improves their body composition. There's also good evidence that physical activity reduces their anxiety and depression. And that's bad news for the pharmaceutical companies, but it's really something that we need to work on as we're over-medicating our children. There's probably more than that, but the scientific evidence is limited for children. We have a lot more for the health benefits of physical activity for adults, but we have strong evidence that it actually reduces mortality, reduces coronary heart disease, hypertension, stroke, just about every disease that you can imagine, even lowers the risk of colon and breast cancer. It helps prevent weight gain and can be part of a weight loss regimen. And for the elderly in particular, it can prevent the falls, which lead to a lot of risk of complications, reduces their depression, and improves their cognitive function. They also have better functional health, lower abdominal obesity. These are some websites that I'm going to provide for you. I think Derrick's going to send this out so you don't have to write all this down, but just briefly, the physical activity guidelines, recommendations can be found at this first website. That's where you can, if you're interested again, you can look at this 600-page document that has all the scientific evidence for the benefit of physical activity. Fitness.gov and the President's Challenge, that really goes to the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports, another good source. The Surgeon General has an obesity prevention website. The CDC has the Healthy Youth. I think that's the We Can program that, no, that's the National Institutes of Health. The next one is the We Can program. And then finally, CDC has another website which focuses on worksite wellness. And within my office and within that I work for, we have the Office on Women's Health, and they sponsor a Women's Health Week each May, where one of their activities is a sort of a tracker, activity tracker, where women sign up for this and they compete and they get these virtual miles. But again, if you can intersect your recreation activities, the trails, the activities that you offer in parks and other places with this, this is a good way to get the women out there to do that, and I think it would be a good partnership. We have a class, something that teaches families and we're targeting specifically minority families to work with their girls, and we're expanding this to boys actually too, both on diet and physical activity, so that we can improve the health of these children. And then there's another program that works specifically with young girls to build stronger bones.